Welcome back to the channel. Robert RN here, and today we're outside. I'll tell you the reason why in a little bit. But I was about to make some char cloth earlier, and the matches I used to start the fire somehow got wet and couldn't use them anymore. So I thought we really need to try to see if we can make some waterproof matches, or get some at least. So I went to Walmart and I saw that they were about $3 to $4 for a 4-pack of 40 matches, I believe. And so I figured, well, I'll get those and see how they compare to matches that I make waterproof myself. And so I bought a 10-pack of match boxes. It cost me 97 cents. And we're going to test some of these waterproof methods. And so we're going to see how they work. So I have waterproof matches, which we're going to test at the end. We're going to see how they compare to homemade waterproof matches. Stick around. All right, y'all. So the first method is dropping matches into turpentine. We're going to let them soak for a little bit, about 5 minutes. Then we're going to let it dry, and we're going to see how that works. So I just went to Walmart, got some turpentine. We're going to see how that works, okay? So I don't have a table out here, so I'm going to have my lovely wife come out and help me. Hi. So this is Chloe, my wife, and she's going to be my table, essentially. All right, so we're going to get some of this turpentine, put it in. Smells really bad. Whew. And we're gonna drop some of these matches in. Gloves. I mean, this stuff, you really don't want it on you or anything. Smells really bad. All right, so I dropped about 10 of them in there. Gonna let them soak for a little bit, and we're gonna see how well they work. Now, one thing to remember, to keep in mind, this stuff, you don't want to put it in anything you're going to drink out of. So in fact, this is going to go over with all the rest of the chemicals. We make sure. I'll get back to you whenever this dries. So, turpentine is done. We've had it for about 5 minutes, a little over that. And they're nice and soaked. So, what you want to do now is just put them on some kind of rag or paper towel and leave them out in the sun to dry. It'll take about 30 minutes to dry. So now, we're going to try these turpentine ones. They're dry. We're going to go ahead and throw them in the water. Oop, dropped one. We'll throw it in the water here. First, let's see if it lights before it even gets wet. We're going to see how that does. All right, so we're going to try these turpentine ones. They're swirling around in here. Make sure they get all nice and dry, nice and wet here. All right. Let's give it a shot here. Huh? Maybe not. Try that one. Didn't work. Let's try this one. No. Let's try that. They want light. They're not staying lit though. Just for laughs, we're gonna try it with just a lighter. Let's see how that works. Takes a while to light, but even then.
And it won't stay lit either.
Doesn't want to stay lit. Even with the turpentine. There it goes. So if you happen to have a lighter, you can do it, but at that point there's no reason for these. All right, my lovely wife let me use her nail polish, and actually this will allow it to be waterproof, or will allow these matches to be waterproof. All you have to do, take these, dip them in about at least 1/8 of an inch above the match head, and that keeps the water from going up into the match head. We're gonna try that out. So all you gotta do is just take one of these matches, dip it into the nail polish, at least about 1/2 inch in, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, whatever, at least 1/8 of an inch. And you grab it, if you have like a foam cup from some drive-through, whatever, just poke it through and let it dry. We're gonna do this for about 10 of them. All right, so we're just gonna let these dry, and I'll get back to you once they do. So the ones we used the nail polish on should be dry now, and match heads actually feel pretty dry. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna test it. We're gonna fill this up with water, and we're gonna drop these matches in there, and we're also gonna do a little test. We're gonna drop the waterproof matches in. We're gonna see how well they compare to the others. So first of all, we'll try these, the ones we did the nail polish on. So we'll drop these in the water. Okay. Then we're also gonna go ahead and do these waterproof matches. We're gonna see how well they compare to these nail polish homemade waterproof matches. Just gonna grab a handful of them. Now you can tell the difference between these because these are red, where the other ones are green. So we're gonna see how they do. Stuck them in here also. Give them a good swirl. So they've been soaking in water for a bit, as you can see. So we're gonna give it a shot. First is the store-bought waterproof matches. We're gonna see how those do. My lovely wife's gonna demonstrate. Lights right up. All right. Next, we're gonna try one of our homemade ones. See, it's green. It's one of our homemade ones. Let's give it a shot. So there is another way you could do homemade waterproof matches. I didn't get to do them this time, but you can take wax, either candle wax or the Scentsy wax, and you can just dip them in there. Those take a little longer, and you've got to make sure that as the wax is drying, you kind of squeeze around the stick to make sure that no water gets underneath that wax. That wax will then, when you strike the match, will strip off of the match head, allowing the match head to strike on the box. Then that wax will also act as a kind of like a fuel. So that's what these store-bought ones do a lot, is they have a little wax film on them, and so that's why they actually burn a little hotter, a little brighter, a little bigger. And so that's the reason why these work. You could do it with that if you want. Those take a little longer to dry out sometimes, and they don't always work. Either way, waterproof matches or not, it's always a good idea to keep them in a Ziploc bag. So what have we learned? We've learned that the turpentine ones, maybe we did them wrong. If we did, let us know in the comments. But the turpentine ones didn't seem to work that well. But the ones dipped in the nail polish seem to work great. Almost as well as those store-bought ones. Now, the great things is you could get those strike-on box matches. It's like a 10-pack of little boxes for 97 cents at Walmart. Where you can get a 4-pack of those waterproof ones for like $3. So there's a huge price difference. If you happen to have a girlfriend, a wife, a sister, I mean, a mom that still wears nail polish, you can get nail polish. Nail polish is pretty cheap anyways. And just make your own homemade waterproof matches. So that's a great idea. But still, here's something you need to keep in mind. Those boxes, you need to make sure that you keep them dry as well, because they're strike-on box matches. I suggest if you can get your hands on them, get some strike anywhere matches and try using those instead. Those are always best because you don't have to worry about keeping the box dry as well. So leave a comment down below. Tell me what other kind of DIY projects you want me to try, or other survival tips. I'd be happy to try them. And leave a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you really liked it. If you do subscribe, press that little bell button so that you get a notification anytime that new video comes out. And then I want to also say thank you to my wife for participating in this video. Go check out her channel if you want. She does pretty quirky things online, and you know, it's all great fun. But her channel is Nerdy Gnome. I'll leave a description. Actually, just click on her face. It'll take you to her channel. Alright, so I'll see y'all next time. Stay prepared.